Jesus Christ, it's actually Jason Bourne. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I am your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Jason Bourne, the final movie, at least as of now, for the Bourne series. And this one, from what I heard, from what I read yesterday, does get things back on track after yesterday's catastrophe with the Bourne legacy. It just wasn't good. It was not a good movie. It wasn't a good Bourne movie. It's like, they really shouldn't have done that. But this one is going to be like more of a direct follow-up to Bourne Ultimatum, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays. Because at the end of Bourne Ultimatum, he kind of retired from the name and, well, I guess you could say job description of what it means to be Jason Bourne. He's choosing to go back and live as like David Webb and just basically find his new identity and find what he wants to do now. And his name got cleared, but the last movie, Bourne Legacy, also kind of implied that maybe that trial didn't go as according to plan as we would have liked. So who knows? Either way, they're definitely going to be coming for Jason again. I don't know, like, if it's going to be the same people, if it's going to be different people. I don't know how Pam is going to fit into all of this. I don't know if Nikki's going to be back, because she was shown at the end of Bourne Ultimatum reacting to the news that Jason got away. So, yeah, I'm just very curious to see how they do this. And, at least for now, how they wrap up the story. Now, hopefully this goes back more to the quality of Bourne Ultimatum, too, because, like I said, Bourne Legacy was not good. Like, even outside of just the fact that it was, like, random as fuck to just introduce, like, a side story, basically, it also just didn't work. It wasn't a good movie. So, hopefully this one changes that, but we're just going to get right into it and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So this movie was another one of the Bourne films, well, I mean, pretty much all of them, had a pretty star-studded cast, from the likes of the legendary Tommy Lee Jones to Elisa Vikander, who is fairly newer, I believe. I don't think she's like been hugely known for too long. I know her mostly for playing Lara Croft in the most recent Tomb Raider movie that's based off of the rebooted games. But we also have Vincent Cassel, who is the asset. He's like this really well-known French actor. But I know him for playing the voice and motion capture of Victor Chevalier in Tekken 8. What a wild thing to know him for, but that's what I know him for. I mean, we also had a lot of returning ones. Kallur was played by Riz Ahmed, who was also in the Venom movie, the first one. He was the bad guy in that. And so on and so forth. This movie mostly did right by the Bourne Ultimatum. It continued to be mostly as good as that. I have one issue with it, and I said it during the reaction. I don't like what they did with Nikki. It felt like it was just doing the same thing that they did with Marie. And I feel like there's a lot of action movies that have had this problem where it's like, oh, we have to kill off the female lead in order to give extra motivation to our male main character. It's a trope that is unfortunately steeped in a lot of questionable shit. Like, you could say it's sexist, you could say it's fridging and whatnot. It's not good. And the problem with this is that there was no reason to do it. There was absolutely zero reason to kill Nikki here. Because, like, Bourne would have already gotten back into things because of his father's involvement. Finding out his, like, father was directly connected to Treadstone would have already gotten him back into this. You didn't need to do this extra thing, have this extra motivator. It felt completely unnecessary, and it felt like just a reason to kill her off. And I don't know if Julia Stiles just, was not wanting to be in too much of it, or what the case was. But they could have written her out in a different way. They didn't need to do this. And again, it just felt like they did the same thing that they did with Marie. It just felt like she basically came across as a plot device in the end. More so than an actual character. And it really sucks because I like Nikki. And she has been a mainstay in this entire series. So to kill her off, like, randomly here for no reason feels almost kind of insulting. And then there was the question of how long this took place after Ultimatum. I looked it up. Apparently it's like about 12 years from what it said on Wikipedia. So just over a decade later, which the movie came out less than 10 years after, so they kind of extended it a little further in terms of the real time. But, like, it explains, like, why, like, he and Nikki look notably older, why things are, like, so different in terms of the chain of command. It's not really a complaint with what we got with the movie, but I do kind of wish we did find out more about what actually happened with the case, with the trial at the end of Ultimatum. We heard a little bit about it, like, not going super well in terms of within Bourne Legacy, but we didn't get, like, full information. And now it's just 12 years later, there's a new director played by Tommy Lee Jones, and he's phenomenal, of course, but it just feels like we're missing information. And again, it doesn't hurt this movie and what's shown in it and everything. Like, this movie still works, but I just kind of wish we had that information. And the fact that Pam is just no longer a character is also kind of disappointing because I really liked her. Honestly, Heather just doesn't hold a candle to her. And I'm not even saying it's necessarily because of Alicia Vikander's acting not being as good. Although I do kind of believe that. It's more along the lines of, I just don't think she was written to be as interesting. Honestly, Heather seems more opportunistic than actually good. Like, she had issues with Tommy Lee Jones' character. I can't remember his name right now. She had issues with him, and she definitely didn't agree with the way he was handling things. But she wasn't as, like, it wasn't as much about morals with her. She just felt like he was handling things stupidly. Like, she was smarter. And in the end, you even, like, see how, like, she's trying to, like, almost manipulate Bourne into coming back, using even the same lines that he used. Tommy Lee Jones's character, the director. Even saying, like, I know you're a patriot and stuff like that. It's like, come on. And then to see, like, he had heard her conversation before anyways, it's like, she's just opportunistic. she'll do whatever it takes to be in charge herself. And it's implied that she is going to be the next director. There is strong implication there. It just feels off. It just feels like she's not as interesting of a character, and definitely not as morally complex. Pam was just better in every way. Um, and of course, the camera work was still shit. But I honestly, I'd given up expecting different at this point. So, um, I liked the asset. I liked Vincent Castle's performance. I think he actually had a lot of interesting depth to him. He did great. He was absolutely wonderful. I have no issues with him. No issues with Tommy Lee Jones. Or the guy who played like his assistant. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was like Lessel or something like that. Oh, let me just look shit up. I still have this up. Dewey. Dewey was Tommy Lee Jones' character, and his assistant was Jeffers. That was it. Jeffers. I liked him. I thought he did a good job. I thought his character felt like he was pretty good. I like the integration of some modern stuff in this movie, like mentioning Edward Snowden, having like a social media platform and the privacy debate as a big like part of this, especially in regards to the CIA wanting to just spy on everyone because CIA. And I think it helped it feel modern, considering again there was like a near 10-year gap between these movies. Let me just make sure if what I said before was correct. So yeah, this came out in 2016, and Bourne Ultimatum was 2007. Yes, so it was a 9-year gap in between the previous mainline film and this one. I'm not counting Bourne Legacy because that was an unrelated side story that took place during the same time as Ultimatum, even if it came out in 2012. But the point is, this is 9 years after Ultimatum, and it's it definitely feels like it. It feels like time has passed. It feels like there's more modern twists and stuff to it, and I like that. I like that it feels that way. I think it was a smart decision, and I just really hope that if they end up making another one at this point, which is I feel pretty unlikely because apparently Universal lost the license to it. If they do end up making another one, I feel like they really should like finitely end it. They really need to like end it, like to just close everything out for absolute good, because Matt Damon's not getting any younger. If they end up making one more, and they should only make one more, they should end it. Um, which means the story has to leave it finite. There can't be like any room left. And there's a number of ways to do that, but yeah, that's what I would hope. But the thing is, it's already been 9 years since the last one came out. The same length of time between Ultimatum and this one. So, mind you, again, but if you want to count Legacy, Legacy was 2012, so it had only been like 4 years in between then. But still, it's been 9 years since the last this Jason Bourne movie came out, and at this point, it's like it's probably pretty unlikely that they're gonna make another. I just don't see it happening. Um, but I could be proven wrong. Either way, I like this series as a whole. It had issues. There wasn't always the perfect handling of things. It started off a bit rocky, especially, But like it really did hit its groove with Ultimatum, and then fell back down after with Legacy. But it came back. It came back. Legacy was definitely the weakest film in this series, though, by far. It felt like a complete waste of time. Um, but overall, I'm very glad that I finally got to see these. Thank you, Venom, for donating for these. And that leaves us into what is going to replace them in terms of, or not what's going to replace them, what's going to be the August um, movie week. I am wording things terribly. I'm having trouble wording things clearly, but you know what I mean. So at the end of August will be another movie week, and I had already decided by the time I decided on this one what that movie week theme would be. So this time I'm not going to forget to tell you the theme for the August movie week, which let me make sure on what the dates are too. It'll be quicker to bring up my calendar on here, which will be the week of Monday, August 25th to Friday, August 29th, just to let you know. The theme for the August movie week will be comic book movies, and not just superheroes. So there's even a little extra hint in there for you. We will be doing 5 comic book movies, which means they just have to be movies that were based off of a comic. It's as simple as that, but it doesn't have to be superhero based. So take that into account. I got 5 movies already picked out. I already know what we're doing with them. So it's just a matter of getting to that. We will get to that, like I said, at the dates mentioned, and then we will move on from there. But just as a reminder, there will not be an end of the month movie night in October or December. October, we are having a Halloween special that's going to kind of take the place of that. And December, on top of just being the end of the year, we're also having our holiday special, and there's other stuff I have to get done during December, such as the end of the year Princess of Gay Awards, which are going to just touch on my favorite reactions, your guys' favorite reactions, stuff like that. So, yeah, let me know what you think of the Bourne movies, and especially this one, down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of our theme for next month. Once again, comic book movies, but not necessarily superhero movies. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you so, so much for tuning in, as always. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.